Welcome to day 62 of the 77-day video challenge. Happy National Book Lovers Day. As you can probably tell, I'm entirely okay with books. Today is also International Co-working Day and National Hand-holding Day. I've heard people say that a book can be a real friend to you. Every now and then I see this one meme that pops up that says that there's a sense of loss one feels at the end of some books. That when you get to that last page, it feels like you're saying goodbye to a friend. So perhaps that intimacy that we feel with good literature, a story that entrances us, draws us in, takes us outside of ourselves for just a little while, is truly magical. And there's something thrilling about having those characters and those situations offered up to us, that we may project ourselves into those experiences. So in a way, they become our co-workers, and we gain some intimacy as we clasp those stories and those characters in our hands. There are a couple of books that I have really touched my life. To Kill a Mockingbird, spectacular. The Catcher in the Rye, brilliant. One of my all-time favorite books, as many of you may know, is The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay. I've told people that if I were to write a novel, that would be the book I would want to write. The funniest book I have ever read, the two funniest books I have ever read. One was one of Chuck Jones' memoirs, Chuck Amok, in which he shares stories about his career in animation. And the funniest work of fiction I've ever read was Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. Just brilliant. Terrifically funny book. People have told me that the funniest book they've ever read, and in a survey I read several years ago, the funniest book many of these people had ever read was Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace. I would like to warn you, I did not enjoy that book. It is very long. I found it meandering and not particularly entertaining. One day I may reread that book and see what it is I missed. I don't know if I want to slog through 1,000+ pages again just to prove myself wrong. But perhaps that's the challenge that awaits somebody who truly loves literature. That maybe I didn't understand it. Maybe the story eluded me. Maybe the characters did not entrance me in such a way that I wanted to embrace their experiences. That may be a message for another time. A book that I read about 10 years ago that I found a lot of insight from was by an author I believe his name was Noah St. John, a book titled Permission to Succeed. As I've shared here before, many years ago I was diagnosed with a fear of success, which is kind of an elusive concept. Who wouldn't want to succeed? But like a lot of people who have a fear of success, I tend to create my own obstacles. And perhaps I created obstacles that prevented me from enjoying infinite jest. About a few years ago, after I had read that book, I went back to the library to check it out again, and I couldn't find it. So I looked in the library catalog, books on a fear of success, because I think that's how I had found the book the first time. And the first entry that came up in the electronic catalog at the library, under the listing of books on the topic of a fear of success, was one on potty training. That I had already pretty much covered about 45 years earlier. So I did not need to go looking for a book on potty training, as I was looking for resources on how to overcome my fear of success. Nevertheless, and I find that I say that a lot in these messages, books may change your life. Some of us struggle to make it through a book, whether we have our own immaterial understanding of some books, whether we have our own difficulty in actually reading and embracing the content of a book. I know plenty of people who cannot read very well, who struggle with that. And yet, every now and then, it thrills me to hear them talk about a book that they've read or a book that they've listened to on an audio recording. Because it means that those stories mean something to them. Those experiences shared through those volumes have touched their lives, and it appeals to them in some fashion. If you would like, in the comments, I would love to know about some of the books that have inspired you, some of the books that you have grasped in your hands and have touched your life, transformed your life. And perhaps some of those books that have become your co-workers, the people who, your friends, who have helped you grow, helped you flourish. I look forward to seeing you on day 63 of the 77-day video challenge. Have a great evening.